welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a worth the buy or not foundation review on the very new Colourpop stick foundation. So I was like, you know what, I need to give it to the peeps. They want it, so I got to hand it out. The only thing, like always with these types of foundations, is that it doesn't come with a description. So I have to go online so I can get a proper description for you guys. And this foundation was $10, so that's a really good price for a foundation, very affordable. Colourpop always does a really good job of bringing like best, good quality products at affordable prices. So let's see. Okay, so it's supposed to conceal, correct, and perfect for a flawless complexion in seconds. It's a medium to buildable coverage foundation which instantly blurs pores, covers blemishes, and blends effortlessly. For a natural skin-like finish, it's not cakey or drying. It glides perfectly on the skin, and it's portable to take on the go for a mess-free touch-up anytime. And then it does say for a fuller coverage to apply with a denser brush, like a flat tip kabuki brush. And yeah, that's all it says. It is cruelty-free for you guys who want to know if it's cruelty-free, and it's also vegan, so that's another good thing. So this isn't going to be a mattifying foundation. It's just going to give you a very natural skin-like finish. It's supposed to blend out easily. It's just supposed to be a good situation. I always like stick foundations, especially when I'm looking for something really creamy, easy to blend, and just very like nice to wear through the day, because I feel like these are the best foundations, especially for my people that have that normal to dry skin. Now that we're moving into winter, I feel like stick foundations are always a lot of fun, at least for me, because I feel like that's when your skin kind of needs more of that hydration finish as opposed to something that's so thick and heavy. First things first, I want to go ahead and start off with my primer. I already went ahead and used moisturizer. For moisturizer, I used my First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Moisturizing Cream. This is my favorite moisturizer ever. And now for my primer, I'm going to be using the Milani Prime Shield. This is the mattifying pore minimizing oil-free primer, which if you watched my favorites video, you know that I really like this stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this all over. I really like it because it's just very smooth. Okay, so I brought you guys in super close so we can go ahead and do this. First, we're going to start off with this side of the face and do a sponge application. And then we're going to do the other side with our brush. As you can see, my rosacea isn't too flared up today. I feel like it actually looks pretty good. I'm really impressed. Whenever the fall and winter come along, my skin gets so much better. So we're going to go ahead and take this foundation and we're going to go ahead and just swipe it. Oh, that's really creamy. And we're just gonna use our sponge. It claims to blend in very quickly and very easy. So let's hope for the best. It reminds me of the Makeup Forever with how creamy it just went on the skin. It's covering pretty nicely. Like I said, it's a medium to buildable coverage. So don't sit here and expect like, oh, I'm gonna be full coverage right away, because you're probably gonna need a second to really build that really full coverage. So this is what it looks like with my first initial application. I have to say, it looks really nice. It looks very skin-like. You can still kind of see some of my redness peeking through just a little bit, nothing too crazy, of course, but I feel like you can really tell the difference. I mean, already, like this side has nothing on, this side has a foundation on, but it looks still like skin. Do you see that? Like I still get like skin vibes. If you're just looking for it to look very skin-like and you want for everyday use, then I think that using a sponge is fine. That's a really good finish. And there's still a little bit of radiance. Like I mentioned, it's not claiming to be a matte foundation. It's just like a normal, nice skin-like finish, and it's definitely looking like skin to me, and it's definitely looking like something that can be worn by people that have dry skin and people that have oily skin, normal skin, all sorts of skin. But I do have to say that I feel like for somebody that has dry skin, you're probably gonna like this because it's one of my more creamier formulas that comes in a stick, and I feel like it just feels very fresh on the face. So That is with 2 layers, going more for that fuller coverage. But with 1 layer, I feel like it still look nice, especially if you don't have like a lot of imperfections you want to cover. You're only going to need 1 layer to really get everything perfect. So now I'm going to be taking this side, and with this side, we're going to be using our brush. And I'm going to be using my Morphe Jaclyn Hill Master Collection brush in the JH03. So I'm just going to stripe this face and do that, and then there, and then down here, like that. Okay, so I am noticing some differences, and I'm going to point them out for you guys. I'm going to bring you guys a little bit closer if I possibly can. Okay, so we are pretty close right now, and I don't know if you guys, I'm going to look in the viewfinder a little bit, so if you see me looking that way, that's why. But I don't know if you guys can pick this up, but on this side with a brush, I feel like it gave me a more drying finish. There are some areas where I feel like it's clinging onto my skin, right around here especially. As opposed to this side, I feel like it looks more like skin, more natural. This side, it's definitely clinging on. And you know what I think it is? I think it's the fact that the sponge is damp, so it kind of has some moisture in there. So when you're blending it out, it gives it that nice finish where it looks very much so like skin, and you're kind of like stamping it in, that it kind of just works well with the dampness and then the actual formula. Now, I don't think it's the brush at all, because I use this brush all the time for other foundations and it does not do this. I just personally think that the foundation looks better with the sponge, but it's looking very dry right here. It's breaking apart, like it's separating right in this area. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my sponge. So I just had to say that I would recommend you use a sponge rather than a brush, because it will separate. It's so weird, because when I was applying it on this side, it just felt so creamy. And then as soon as I went in with the brush, it was like, you can see it looks more like skin. You can still see the separation because we already went in with that initial layer with the brush, but with the sponge, it just works so much better. I wouldn't listen to the instructions tell you on how to apply, because I feel like with a brush, you're not gonna get a fuller coverage. It's just gonna break apart. Especially if you have dry skin, I would not recommend you using a brush after this experience I had, which I hope you guys could see on camera, but it just did not look good. And I feel like if you have dry skin, it's gonna be like separating like no other. So I would say just stick to the sponge. So sponge is the way to go with this. Now that it's set on this side, I really like how it looks, but the foundation looks really good on the side that we applied first. Definitely a really good match to my complexion. I feel like it just matches me pretty well. And I feel like I was a little bit worried about it, because I was like, oh my God, there's so many shades to choose from. Which one should I get? But this is looking very snatched. So that is a good thing. This side is setting, still some of that separation, but it does look better than it did earlier when we first applied it. So yeah, so far so good. I'm glad that we kind of had some rough patches, because I always like to kind of show you guys everything so that when you purchase it, you know what to do and how to play with it. But that was pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the rest of my face, and I will come back and give you guys my very first initial thoughts and impressions, and then we can go ahead and start our day and see if this Colourpop stick foundation is worth the buy or not. So if you want to know, stay tuned. So I am back. I finished my entire face of makeup, and I'm actually really living for these pink vibes today. So I am using the new Naked Urban Decay Cherry Palette. I was thinking about filming a review on this / tutorial. So if you guys would like to see a review / tutorial on this, just let me know down below in the comment section, because I am here for this. So I will have all the products I used on my face listed down below in my description box, so you guys can go ahead and check that out in case you're curious to know what I'm wearing on my face. But let's get right into the foundation. So I have to say that during my process of doing my makeup, I really liked how the foundation looked. I liked how it worked with my concealer. Today I used the KKW Beauty Concealer just because I felt like the foundation was a nice medium consistency. It wasn't so thick on the face, so I felt like I could use a concealer that was a little bit more fuller coverage. Whenever I do like a bold eye, like the one that I did right here, I like to really go in with a concealer because I feel like when you have a bold eye and like a nice bright concealer, it just really makes the eye area pop a lot. And as I was applying my concealer, the foundation and the concealer had no issues together. I also went ahead and baked my under eye concealer and there was no issues at all with that. I used my Airspun powder in case you guys are wondering in the shade Translucent. And then with the leftover powder that I did have from the baking, I went ahead and dusted it off in the areas where I tend to get oily. So right here, my smile lines around my nose and my T-zone, and I think it looks really nice. And then I ended up using a setting spray because this isn't claiming to be a matte product. I wanted to make sure that I took all the precautions necessary to make sure that my face looks nice and snatched. I used the Matte Fix Plus in the matte version. This is one that I have already spoken about in the past. It does do a good job of locking everything in, so I'm hoping that it'll lock this foundation by Colourpop in and make it look super snatched for the whole day. But I do have to say that I'm liking the fact that it's giving me such a beautiful, natural looking finish. And by natural, I don't mean like sheer or anything like that. I just mean like it looks like skin. I actually look like myself. I don't look like I'm wearing this heavy, thick layer of makeup, which sometimes can be a bad thing. Sometimes it can be a good thing, but sometimes it can be a bad thing. And if you like something that is super lightweight, this is feeling good so far. It's a little bit sticky, but it could be because I applied the Matte Fix Plus in the matte version. So that could be it, but it didn't transfer when I went ahead and touched it. So that's a good thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and carry on with the rest of my day, and I will see you guys at the end of the night. So I may look a little crusty and dead because today is college football, it's Saturday. So yeah, we're gonna be watching some college football games and I may look exhausted by the end of the day, but at least you can take in how beautiful I look right now, JK, but for real. Okay, so I'm gonna be seeing you guys in a little bit to give you guys my final thoughts on the new Colourpop No Filter Stick Foundation. So stay tuned for those. Okay guys, so I am back. It is now 11:58 p.m. and it's been a very long day, as you can see, because it's about to be the next day. But I wanted to give you guys my last check-in update slash final thoughts on the new Colourpop No Filter Stick Foundation. So as you can see, the foundation looks really nice still. Isn't that like crazy? It looks really, really nice. There are a few issues that I have with the foundation. So I'm gonna start off with the issues and then we can go ahead and talk about the upside of the foundation. So the big thing that I noticed about this foundation is that it does remove easily. Like right here, a lot of my foundation on my nose kind of like transferred over onto something because I'm missing foundation there. But you can easily just blend that out and make it a little bit better. But I just wanted to like show it to you guys so that you guys know that that can happen. It's a foundation that can transfer easy. So if you're looking for a foundation that's just gonna lock in and not move and not go anywhere, then you may not be the biggest fan of this. Or if you're gonna be like hugging people and stuff like that, like really interacting with your face, then that may be an issue. There are other areas like around here too where I see that it's kind of transferring, or it looks a little bit more sheared out than it did when we first applied it. But for the most part, I feel like it looks really good. Yes, there's a little bit of dew in the foundation, but I mean, we've worn this for a long day. It's about to be the next day. It is the next day now. So I just think that for the quality and what you're getting here, that's not bad at all. Now I did want to touch on how much this has. This has 0.34 ounces, which is pretty standard for a stick foundation. Usually stick foundations have much less than a liquid foundation. So that's nothing too shocking. And for $10, that's a good amount. And what you're getting is a pretty good product. I did also want to mention something that I forgot to mention earlier, was that these are also good for like contouring or concealing. or highlighting your face and stuff like that, you will definitely get good use out of this if you wanted to do that. I would say that these would be really great for like contouring your face. Like if you got a shade to match your skin, like your foundation, and then another one to match your contour. And it would work really nice because it blends very easily, whether you use a sponge or even like your fingers to kind of like blend certain parts out of it. It works good. I mean, this is a $10 foundation. If it was like a $50 foundation and it's transferring like this, then I would be like, don't waste your money. But I feel like because its claims are pretty accurate and it doesn't claim anything out of the norm for this, then I would say that it's still something that I can be okay with. I do have to say that I'm really impressed with the fact that this foundation held up this nicely because I wasn't expecting. I was expecting it to look much more oily than it's looking right now. But those are all my thoughts for today. I really hope that you guys enjoyed watching this foundation review. I know that it was very requested by you guys for me to film this, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it, and I did it. So I hope that it was definitely something that you guys wanted to see. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Lets me know to continue doing these types of videos. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe. I would love for you to become a member of family here on YouTube because I wouldn't want you guys to miss my videos for the world. And I think that's it. I'm getting super tired, which is why I'm like lacking right now. And I ate so much food. I was watching college football and I'm just like ready for bed at this point. So I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon for a brand new video. Bye guys.